I'm sure people want to know what's the ups and downs of being married to me. Go ahead, you can say it. I give you permission to go ahead and say it.
You think NBA players are all about brotherhood and teamwork? Think again. What if I told you some of these guys are stabbing their teammates in the back in the worst way possible? We're not talking about passing up an open shot or missing a defensive assignment. We're talking about something way more personal. Imagine coming home after a tough game only to find out your teammate, the guy you just shared the court with, is in bed with your wife.
20 years later, Shawnee Henderson spilling details about her marriage to ex-husband Shaquille O'Neal, admitting she's not sure she ever truly loved the former NBA star during their 9-year marriage.
It's not just a crazy plot from some TV drama. This stuff actually happens in the NBA, and you won't believe how often it goes down. Let's dive into the dirty secrets these millionaire athletes are hiding. Picture this: Shaq, the big guy dominating the court, but off the court, he's playing a whole different game. We're talking about the kind of game that ruins marriages and friendships. Yeah, it's that serious. Let's rewind to 2010. Shaq's wife, Shawnee, drops a bombshell that shakes the NBA world. She's not just talking about Shaq's monster dunks or his larger-than-life personality. Nope, she's spilling the tea about Shaq cheating with Gilbert Arenas' fiancée, Laura Govan. Can you believe it? The big diesel himself, caught in a scandal that's more explosive than any of his backboard-shattering slams. Now, you'd think this drama would stay behind closed doors, right? Wrong. In the age of the internet, nothing stays secret for long. Emails start leaking, and let me tell you, they're not talking about basketball strategies. These messages are steamy, personal, and definitely not meant for public eyes. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You know you shouldn't look, but you can't help it. This isn't just some juicy gossip to laugh about. It's messing with real people's lives. Shawnee's had enough of Shaq's off-court games and files for divorce. Meanwhile, Gilbert Arenas is left trying to make sense of it all. Imagine finding out your teammate, someone you trust on the court, is messing around with your fiance. That's gotta hurt worse than any flagrant foul. But here's where it gets even crazier. Laura Govan, the woman at the center of all this drama, suddenly flips the script. She denies everything. And her excuse? It's wild. She's like, "Have you seen Shaq's feet? I mean, what? Is she trying to say Shaq's too big for her?" It's the kind of excuse that leaves you scratching your head and wondering what's really going on. Shaq, being Shaq, doesn't just let the rumors fly. He tries to explain himself in his book, but his excuse, it's weak, man. He says women were throwing themselves at him left and right. Come on, Shaq. Just because you're irresistible on the court doesn't mean you gotta catch every pass off it. This whole mess shows how fame and temptation can wreck lives, even for NBA superstars. One minute you're on top of the world, the next you're the talk of the town for all the wrong reasons. It's a reminder that these players we idolize are human too, with all the flaws and mistakes that come with it. But hold on to your seats, because Shaq's not the only one with a dirty secret in his locker. We're about to dive into another shocking story that'll make your jaw drop. Trust me, you won't believe what some of these players are up to when the final buzzer sounds. Alright, let's switch gears from Shaq to another NBA bombshell. Picture this: it's 2014, and the Indiana Pacers are on top of the world. Paul George and Roy Hibbert are dominating like it's nobody's business. But then, faster than a fast break, everything falls apart. What could turn a dream team into a nightmare? Trust me, this story's got more twists than a playoff series. The Pacers were crushing it in 2014. They were the team to beat, with Paul George and Roy Hibbert leading the charge. These guys were unstoppable on the court, making other teams look like they forgot how to play basketball. But then, out of nowhere, their game starts going downhill faster than a rookie's confidence after getting dunked on. Everyone's scratching their head, trying to figure out what's going on. Did they forget how to play? Did they all eat some bad sushi before the game? Nope, it's way worse than that. Lance Stevenson, never one to keep his mouth shut, drops a hint that sets the rumor mill on fire. And let me tell you, these rumors are hotter than courtside seats at Game 7. Here's where it gets wild. Turns out Paul George isn't just passing to Hibbert on the court. He's sliding into his wife's DMs off the court. Yeah, you heard that right. PG-13's extracurricular activities are definitely not rated PG. You're probably thinking, no way, right? But hold on to your jerseys, because it gets even crazier. Hibbert's wife, feeling guilty about the whole mess, decides to come clean. She confesses to the inappropriate relationship with Paul George. Can you imagine that conversation? "Hey honey, remember your teammate Paul? Well, talk about team drama. This isn't just some locker room squabble over who gets the best towels. This is next level betrayal. And you know what? This isn't just juicy gossip for the tabloid. It's seriously messing with their game. Hibbert's performance takes a nosedive. He goes from being a defensive beast to barely showing up on the court. It's like he's playing with lead in his sneakers and his mind somewhere in outer space. You gotta wonder, how do you even look your teammate in the eye after something like this? How do you trust the guy to have your back on the court when he's stabbing you in the back off it? It's not like they can just high five and forget about it during timeout. This whole scandal shows how personal drama can destroy a team from the inside out. One minute you're chasing a championship, the next you're watching your season go up in flames because someone couldn't keep it in their pants. It's a stark reminder that what happens off the court can have a massive impact on what happens on it. But hold on to your headbands, because if you think teammates hooking up with each other's wives is bad, wait till you hear what's coming next. We're about to talk about a player who took things to a whole new level of wrong. This guy didn't just cross the line, he pole vaulted over it and landed in a coach's wife's bed. Yeah, you heard that right, a coach's wife. This next story is gonna make you rethink everything you thought you knew about locker room drama. Remember when I said someone pole vaulted over the line? Well, let me introduce you to Andrew Bynum, the guy who took shooting your shot way too literally. Picture this, you're a rising NBA star, life's good, and then bam, you're out of the league faster than a buzzer beater. What could possibly derail a career that quickly? Trust me, this story's got more twists than a street ball handle. So there's Andrew Bynum playing for the Cavs in the 2013-2014 season. He's doing his thing, blocking shots, grabbing rebounds, living the NBA dream. Then suddenly out of nowhere, he's suspended. You're probably thinking, what did he do? Miss practice? Get into a locker room brawl? Nah, it's way worse than that. Turns out Bynum's been running his own private scrimmage off the court with a coach's wife. And not just any coach. We're talking about Jamal Mosley's wife. Can you imagine? This isn't just crossing a line, it's like he saw the line and decided to dunk over it. Now picture those team meetings after this bombshell drop. Talk about awkward. You've got Bynum trying to avoid eye contact, Mosley probably fantasizing about using Bynum as a practice dummy, and the rest of the team caught in the crossfire. It's like a soap opera, but with more sneakers and sweat. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist or a few games suspension. The Cavs put Bynum on paid leave, which is basically saying, we're paying you to stay as far away from us as possible. And after that, Bynum's career went into a nosedive. He was out of the league for years. We're talking about a guy who played in 24 games for the Cavs that season, and then poof, gone like a missed free throw. It's like Bynum forgot the #1 rule of professional sports. Don't mess with the coach's family, ever. That's not just crossing a line. That's setting fire to the rule book and using it to roast marshmallows. This whole mess shows how one bad decision can torpedo a promising career faster than you can say technical foul. Bynum went from potential star to cautionary tale in the blink of an eye. It's a stark reminder that in the NBA, what happens off the court can impact your career just as much as what happens on it. But hold on to your jerseys, folks, because if you think that's bad, just wait till you hear what's coming next. We're about to dive into a scandal that proves even Hollywood stardom can't protect you from heartbreak. It's got everything: a famous actress, a star player, and enough drama to fill a season of reality TV. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Alright, picture this. You're on top of the world. NBA champion, married to a smoking hot Hollywood star. Life's perfect, right? Well, Tony Parker thought so too, until he made one move that turned his fairy tale into a full-blown nightmare. What could possibly make a guy risk it all? You're about to find out. It's 2010, and Tony Parker's living the dream. He's a star point guard for the San Antonio Spurs, racking up championships like they're going out of style. And when he's not dominating on the court, he's got Eva Longoria, the desperate housewife herself, waiting for him at home. Talk about having it all. But apparently that wasn't enough for Tony. He decides to spice things up, and not in a good way. He starts sexting. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's not great, but it happened. But here's the kicker. He's not sexting some random fan or a groupie. Nope, he's going after his teammate's wife. Yeah, you heard that right. Brent Barry's wife, to be exact. And get this, they were all friends. We're talking double dates, hanging out together, the whole 9 yards. Can you imagine the betrayal? It's like something out of a soap opera, except this is real life and real people are getting hurt. Eva finds the messages. Can you picture that moment? She's probably scrolling through Tony's phone, thinking she'll find some cute text between them. Instead, she stumbles onto a full-blown affair with her friend's wife. Talk about a punch to the gut. Eva's furious, and rightfully so. She doesn't just dump Tony, she goes nuclear. She files for divorce faster than Tony can drive to the hoop. And here's a detail that really shows how done she is. She even gets rid of her wedding date tattoo. That's not just erasing a memory, that's sandblasting Tony right out of her life. But wait, there's more. It's not just Eva who's calling it quits. Brent Barry, Tony's teammate and supposed friend, files for divorce too. Talk about a double whammy. In one fell swoop, Tony's actions blow up 2 marriages. It's like he forgot the golden rule of bros before, well, you know. Later, when the dust settles a bit, Parker tries to explain himself in an interview. His excuse? Leaving a relationship is never easy, especially when it's under the microscope of the public eye. Really, dude? That's your defense? It's like he's trying to play the victim card. But come on, you're the one who decided to text your teammate's wife, not the paparazzi. This whole mess proves that even when you've got it all, fame, fortune, a beautiful wife, some guys just can't help themselves. It's a reminder that what happens off the court can be just as dramatic as what happens on. And sometimes the biggest betrayals come from the people you trust the most. But hold on to your seat because we're not done yet. Our last story takes teammate betrayal to a whole new level. Just when you think you've heard it all, we're about to serve up a scandal that'll make your head spin. You won't believe what happened to Steve Nash. Trust me. This one's a doozy. Wow, what a wild ride through the NBA's darkest secrets. These stories prove that the brotherhood we see on the court isn't always as tight as it seems. Trust can be shattered faster than a backboard on a Shaq dunk. Next time you're watching a game, remember there's way more going on than just what you see on the hardwood. The real drama? It's happening behind the scenes, in locker rooms and bedrooms across the league. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many more scandals are lurking beneath the surface? Behind those million-dollar smiles and shiny championship rings, there could be a whole world of secrets we don't know about. The NBA is not just a game, it's a soap opera with a basketball.